Hey guys, Danny from Your Guitar Academy and welcome back to the third lesson in this course. Now, here what we're going to be doing is taking the second and third lick and be going through them. And again, we've got classic B.B.King technique and phrasing that we need to talk about. And it's all about that phrasing, guys. It's not what you say, it's how you say it and the space you leave in between. So get your guitars and let's get cracking. So if you've just joined us, don't forget that you can get all of the lesson write-ups, the interactive tab and the scale diagrams over on our website, and we'll post the links in the video and in the description below. Also, please do like and subscribe to the video, as well as leave us a comment below. It massively helps us spread the word about these courses. Finally, if you're on Instagram and want to share your progress by posting some videos of you playing these tracks, then please do tag us at Your Guitar Academy. We can't wait to see how you're getting on with them. Okay, so let's start with lick number 2, and lick number 2 is this, starting right up here. Okay, so relatively simple lick, but let's kind of go through it. Now, we're starting with this classic B.B.King-ism, I'm gonna call it, because we're way up here, right up here on the root note, an octave up from where we've learnt it in our pentatonic box. Okay, so whereas we learned that B minor pentatonic here on the 7th fret, we're way up here now. Okay, which is hard to get to on any guitar. Okay, but for us, we don't need to worry about playing the box. We just need to hit that root note way up here. So that's the 19th fret. And I'm going to grab it with my little finger. Okay, and I'll show you why. Because what I want to get is this sound. Okay, so 2 things to consider here. 1 is the rake and 2 is the slide off. Okay, so for the rake, I want to make sure that my other fingers are all just blocking those strings, and only my little finger is fretting the actual 19th fret. Equally with my right hand, I am blocking the strings as well, just to be sure. I'm kind of doing that palm muting thing we talked about in the other lesson. And I'm going to do that twice. Now, really subtle little note here is that in between the 2, I am releasing the pressure. So it's not this, it's this. So it's not this, it's this. And then I slide it off. So to slide off, just literally start sliding, and as you're going, just release the pressure to the point where you're just literally taking your hand off at the end. Like that, okay? And off we go. So that's how we start that lick, and that jumps us straight into this bit. Okay. Now, just to kind of bring in something else that we haven't really touched on yet, is that at this point when I hit this, the backing track moves to the 4 chord. So we've been doing everything over the B minor so far in the backing track. If we want to go now to the 4 chord, which is an E minor, okay, so that's what's happening now in that track, we're still thinking our B minor pentatonic. For this, we're keeping it nice and simple. As we go through this course more and more, we're going to be targeting chords as they change. That's something B.B.King absolutely does. But in this instance, you know, we're being smart about it by just playing it simple. We just want to make sure that technique is bang on, okay, and the style is there before getting into the deep and dark theory elements. So I'm literally hammering on. But some of you might be wondering why that suddenly sounds so different when I do that over the track, and it's because I'm now playing over the 4 chord of E minor, and it's a perfectly normal and legitimate thing to do, to just continue playing in your overall key of B minor and just use those B minor pentatonic shapes. So it's going to work really well. It's just going to, the coloring is now going to be different because I'm playing over a different chord within that key, okay? So I do the slide off and I come down and I hit that. We're in that Pentatonic Box 2. Okay, and I'm hammering on to that E note, okay, and you might be thinking suddenly, that's coming together, that's an E, that's an E, yep, it works, right? So, you know, you can see why it definitely is something B.B.King would do. It is to some extent targeting the change, but still within the realms of our pentatonic boxes, okay? So, I'm gonna hit that with this really cool hammer on, so quite a quick hammer on, Then I'm going to come back to the 10th fret. I'm going to give that a little nudge if you want to. Just that little quarter bend nudge again. And then down to the B there, okay? And that really makes up lick 2. Again, this gives you opportunity to work on that bend. That little quarter bend. Don't ever let it come down. We don't want that. Quarter bend. And then on the root note, where we hit the root note of the key, the overall key, make sure you're getting that vibrato on it as well. So 3 fingers, thumb over the top, solid vibrato. Use this opportunity to get those techniques bang on. So we've got... Okay. Now, lick number 3, so the one directly after that, sounds like this. Okay, I'll do it again. So hopefully you can agree it's a super cool sound, right? And so simple, but again, the power is in how we hit these notes, okay? So we come right back to this pentatonic box, of course, and we're gonna start with this pull-off. Now I want to make sure you attack this pull-off, okay? So whether you do it with your little finger to first finger or third finger to first finger, whatever's more comfortable for you, just pull off, but really go for it, okay? So I want you to kind of, as soon as you hit that note, pull off, and when I do that pull off, I'm really fretting this note and pulling down and away. So I don't even need to use the plectrum, look, okay? To get the actual pull off, but I want to hit that note first, and then pull off, okay? And as soon as I get to this B, it's gonna be aggressive vibrato. That's that B.B.King's vibrato is nuts. I can't do that. But we want to try and replicate it as close to how we do the vibrato as we can. It basically just means try and do some quite wide vibrato there. So for me, that means going up and down quite fast, but even, always even. Okay, so I've hit that really hard, and then I'm going to run down my pentatonic box and end on the flat 7. Okay, so hopefully that first lesson is paying some dividends here, so we know where we are and we know that that's the flat 7. And that's a great place to end a little run like this when you don't want it to sound too resolved yet. So I don't want that resolve yet. The resolve would be hitting that root note. I want the flat 7, and that's a great place to create some kind of tension that will want some release. Okay, so if you're looking for an unresolved, so a kind of the question in a call and response, go for maybe the flat 7 or maybe even the flat 3rd. You know, all these other notes, just don't hit that root note. So we get this. Okay, so it's quite a quick little run if you've not done runs like that before. So with the right hand, make sure it's down, up, down, up, down, up. And then if you want to really get into that B.B. King vibe, then just a little tiny quarter bend. So on the lower strings, I'll quarter bend down, like that. Never hear it come back. It's got to pause like that. Okay? And that's the lick. Okay, so when you put those 2 licks together, you get this. So we'll do it with the drum beat just so you can hear that kind of in more context. So let's come back to that 70 BPM one first with my beautiful drum machine thing. So it'll be like this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So notice that this first part is actually already on the end of the bar. Okay, so I'll count it through again, but on 60 BPM. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Ba, 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 ba. There it is. There it is. So your aim, your task is to get those licks together. Now try and maybe put it with lick 1 and as well. We will do more of that at the end of this segment, okay, so at the end of the 5 videos. But just try and get them together with the rhythm as well. So if you do have a metronome, try and do that, or at least be able to sing them in time so that you really get the phrasing correct, as well as the notes and the aggression and the technique and everything else that's going into this solo. Okay, so thanks again for watching. When you're ready, please do click the link here to go through to the next video in the course, or alternatively start from the beginning of the course with our playlist right here. And please do comment with any feedback or any questions you have. We'll make sure to answer as many of them as we can. I'll see you next time.